Episode 4, Couch Convos. We got a very special guest in the house. Homegrown heroes right here. We got Lay Street in the building, y'all.
Yo, what up? It's Ethan Cain. You know what it is over here. We got
James Tyler here, man. Late Street.
All right, off to a great start. So let's get a wrap up of what you guys had been going on the past couple of months.
Man, well, we've got our hands pretty much everywhere. We've been playing shows all over. We've been working on these albums for forever now, it feels like. But you know, the marketing is always there, and it's just the plan that we're trying to put together to make it happen. But yeah, man, it's been crazy. This last show was pretty wild as well.
It's been crazy.
You want some of this?
I want some of this.
You want some of that?
So yeah, I mean, for the past 2 years, for sure, we've been working on the trilogy series, the Off the Cliff trilogy series. It's 3 albums. Solo started it. Late Street album in the middle, and then my solo album at the end. Where the Street Begins, the intersection where the street ends. But in the midst of that, we've dropped a project with Havoc the Addict, who's an amazing filmer out of Iowa as well. He's actually out of Illinois, but been living in Iowa for a while now. So we got a project there with Havoc on Late Street. We got another project coming with Havoc and myself, a solo project. I got another solo project in the works. But before any of that and all of that, it's Off the Cliff and Late Street, man. It's been the game plan for the past couple of years. We've been doing mad shows, tour run last year on it. And this whole year, we've done a drop the first of the month, every month, with a visual for the entire year with 1 month left to go. And then we're dropping the albums 2024.
Yeah, like all of the singles that we've done throughout the entire year have been either off of my solo album, his solo album, or off the trilogy. That's just the way we're going about it. Instead of trying to drop an album at one time, we'll just go and drop the singles off of the albums, off each album, and give everybody just a little taste of what we got going on.
I like that market strategy too that you guys got working, because every time I see your Snap story, every time I get on TikTok and I scroll past the Late Street, every time I get on Facebook and see one of the reels, it's well produced. It's like the audio, the visuals, like it's all drawing to it. So it's something that I definitely look forward to when I see a Late Street like sign on any social media. So
yeah, definitely, we definitely
you guys
appreciate
definitely
it.
have the marketing on lock right now with that.
It's holding it to a standard that, you know, like whether or not a professional level is being done, we hold it to that professional level every time. And that's just how we've always done it, and we just do it on our own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've never really had a team. It's us and Havoc, you know what I mean? And so
Homegrown
yeah,
heroes, man.
homegrown, you know what I mean? We just do our thing. And at this point, we've done it for so long now that it's just kind of like it's just natural now, you know what I mean? It's like we know every month we've got a release. We know what we have to do to market and get ready for that release, and it's just we've got it already all mapped out, you know what I mean? Nothing is really
Exactly.
If it does catch us off guard, it's because I wasn't paying attention,
or that, or it just needed to happen, or time and circumstance played its role. You know what I mean? Sometimes life happens, and it's more effective to go a certain route within whatever campaign or scheme we had going.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, I've been digging all the singles too. Every time I click on one, it's just a banger, bro. Something to throw in the car and just be riding to.
Thank you.
Especially that Dive In and the Plug Knock. That Plug Knock is probably my favorite one.
Oh yeah.
That plug knock did a little noise for sure.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful story on how it all got created. I don't know if we have the time for that, but it's definitely one of our singles.
Let's
for
get
sure.
into it if you want to.
Well, I mean, the beat came from a producer out in Kansas City that we met through a contest that I was a part of a couple of years back, some coast to coast stuff. But we linked up with him, made some network there. And then as the beat came in, we're in the studio. He was, I'm on the porch smoking and trying to figure out a hook. And he walks in the door and you go, where's Ethan at? I was like, hey, just walk in, and that's, if you hear the hook, you know what I'm saying? Like, It's pretty much when Havoc walked in, that's what wrote the hook.
Yeah.
Word for word. That was life circumstance at that point. And then fun fact, that whole album, the Lake Street Intersection album, when you do get to hear it, very little was written. We pretty much freestyled that entire project. So once that hook came, we just hopped on the mic and started figuring it out. And it did numbers. I mean, like, it became our single without trying. It was what it was, and it represents Lake Street apparently in a good way.
Yeah. I dug it, and I know my camera guy did too when we were just grilling out listening to it. So
oh yeah, that last one, Finesse Finale, that
one's a fire one too.
Yeah, that was like doing one that we have never done before. We've done a bunch of different videos and stuff,
Storyline,
but yeah, the
Yeah.
storyline of it, where like we're like, no, we don't want to actually rap really any parts of it. You know what I mean? We just wanted to go through
You
and
want it
like
to tell its own story.
yeah, the video to tell its
Yeah.
story, and then to do that with like having our merch line and shit as well. Like that was really cool as fuck.
Give them that metaphor, that story where it's like hustling, but
Well, yeah, yeah, you know the meta. If we'll watch the video, cliffhanger,
enough,
you know,
fair
go
enough,
watch
fair
the
enough.
video, man. Finesse for now. Go look on YouTube. You know, it's out there at Lay Street. You know, .com. No.
Doesn't exist. LayStreet.com does not exist. Inside joke.
Yeah, inside joke.
Watch the vlogs, you'll get it, man. You'll get it. But yeah, I mean,
find the YouTube, there's a whole bunch of those Easter eggs you're gonna find.
100%. The beauty of it is really just like we come from a street hustle mentality. That's how we were born and raised. So the objective of that song was what we've been trying to do this whole time, which is turn a hustle into a legal business. And that's pretty much the gist of it.
You know.
Yep, and that's where we're at right now. So
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
100%. Shout out Basic
Yeah.
doing the same shit.
for real, Basic trying to take it off the ground. But let's get into the last show you guys did. It was with Doobie, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
And that
sir.
was, I swear every video I seen on Snapchat, every video I seen that you guys have posted was just ridiculous.
So that was one of we didn't play a whole lot of shows this year trying to really get these albums done. Last year we were on a huge run pretty much all year playing nonstop. This year we pick and choose, but we've had two really major shows this year. The last one being that Doobie one. Shout out Nice Enough Entertainment with Justin putting us on. So that was out in Iowa City at Wildwood, and I mean it was 400 plus tickets sold. The crowd showed nothing but mad love, and it hits different when you got few hundred people out here really showing that fucking energy. It really reminds you what this shit's really all about, because that's why we're here doing what we do.
Yo, and shout out C10, shout out Otis Julius, and again shout out Nice Enough. But yeah, that was definitely a really cool show. We always have like a cool show. Like what we did 8 songs in 15 minutes. That's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? So we're like picking, choosing what parts of songs and breaking down the set lists, and it's just it's a nonstop thing.
That's a super underestimated part of like being a performing artist too, is doing the practice, picking out the best verses. What do you think is going to get the crowd hype? And showcasing. Do you give away too much? Do you give away not enough? Like how do you know what I mean? Do you throw a new one in?
Dude, I mean, it's like, and I don't know if you've ever been to, well, for those who have been to a Late Street show, they know that like it changes constantly.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, like it changes constantly, and no two shows are going to be the same. So like we may play 1 or 2 or 3 maybe similar songs, but we always are constantly putting new material in, constantly putting them in.
And quick note, we don't rap over lyrics. We perform our music like a musician is supposed to. And I just want to make that point, because there's a lot of artists out here getting away with it.
Yeah.
You don't karaoke your shit. If you're an MC, this is your instrument. Use it like one. Quit rapping over your vocals. Just had to say
100%. Had to say it. It sounds so much better when you do. Anyway.
Yeah, even if your voice isn't really meant for the stage life, it's more respected too.
Take that note.
Yeah, like straight up.
You heard it first here.
Go Lindsay Lohan somewhere else, man. It ain't for hip hop, in my opinion, but that's what a lot of people do. But we do not do that shit. But we put on one hell of a show, and this one was probably like 500 plus, 400 plus, like. And when we were playing, man, the whole crowd wasn't even in the venue when we were playing. Like by the time we finished playing, people were still coming in.
Talking about that as far as being an opener and what our job is.
Yeah. Well, for sure, that's what we do. As an opener, we are to set the tone for the night. And so like.
Get them energetic.
Get the whole people. We were out before the show, just running up and down, trying to get the crowd to talk, and get them energized. Like, who you here to see?
Even when they,
and they're just waiting in line, and it was tough. I was like, damn, like he was telling me, he's like, man, it's gonna be a rough one tonight. Are you ready for this shit? Like,
direct them to like get involved. I had to really direct them to get involved outside. So I went inside and was like, yo, man, it's one of them crowds where they really like the push. They really want the push, which you'll run into that. As much as we play, some crowds are just instantly there and they're about the cause. They're there for it right off rip. And some, you got to really pull them out their shells and remind them what you're doing at a concert and why we're there.
Do you think COVID has something to do with that?
So
because I remember going to like Tech 9 shows, and when those promoters would come out, the whole line from Val Air to the parking lot of the apartment building behind it was saying Tech Nine and Strange Music.
Right.
So it's
So
like,
a couple things. I mean, an established artist name, a line for an established artist is always going to have its own
Yeah.
energy for that artist. But on the COVID thing, we launched Deuce Block clothing and Lace Street during the pandemic and witnessed what the online sales and running a merchandise company does during the pandemic. We kind of got fooled in a sense where like we thought these are the numbers that just exist. This is what it's going to be. Excuse me. And then when COVID started to simmer out, I mean, we watched ticket sales kind of dwindle after the excitement of getting outside kind of washed away. I mean, ticket sales started to dwindle. Online sales went way beyond lower than expected. So there's definitely a change of pace going from COVID living to, after or even prior to. There was definitely a spike in certain avenues. And if you weren't on top of your shit, you lost out during COVID. But if you had your eggs in your basket, you actually flourished during COVID.
You could have.
Right. And we were one of the ones who flourished during COVID and kind of found ourselves now figuring out how to maneuver without everyone stuck in their homes anymore because we base all of our promotions and business mostly online.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
what's your favorite venue in Iowa that you've performed at so far?
the home away from home would be Lefties. They treated us phenomenal every step of the way all these years and have given us more love the city itself has than Fort Dodge ever has for us. It's just what it is. No shade, no nothing, just what the facts are. But as far as favorite venue goes, I mean, it's Iowa City's treated as well every fucking time we've been
Iowa
there.
City,
Whether it's Gabe's or Wildwood.
I'm like, shout out to Wildwoods and Gabe's, but Wildwoods, man, they were giving me $2 Coronas, bro.
Hey,
And like that's great, bro. And they were letting the artists do their thing. They gave us a spot to kick it. We didn't even go and kick it in the green room, but they gave us our own green room to go kick it in and like chill out.
Which you don't get every time.
Yeah, you don't get that all the time, especially and so it's like there's one at Lefties, but we always go to the one at Lefties. I'm always like, I gotta go hide something real quick.
We're like the only ones who use them.
Yeah, but shout out to Eric at Lefties because Lefties is our home away from home. We've played there, I don't even know, probably over 100 times. It feels like,
the first venue to really
that was us throwing down there for.
Before they closed down the House of Bricks, did you guys ever get a chance to perform in there?
Yes, we did. That was actually that show and the one in Marshalltown. That was how we actually got together as a group.
You're traveling with some psychopathic records.
Yeah, I was in a punk rock band, and my punk rock band actually kicked me out because I was too crazy. Who would have thought? And so then I
had a show.
Yeah,
I had a show lined up to open up with Boondocks with a group I was in at the moment with another guy. We called ourselves whatever. I killed us back then. That's what it was. And embarrassing. No,
embarrassing.
But yeah, so we were opening up for Boondocks way back then, House of Bricks era. And I was like, dude, we need a hype man. You want to come? We'll do one of your newly recorded songs that you've done since the band breakup and shit. And he's like, yeah, man. And then quickly realized inevitably that all right, maybe the frontman star of the show here is me and this guy, and not the member I was with. No hard feelings or not. I mean, I came up with the other guy all day, but business is business, and things just kind of show the way they show, and it's important, especially in this music business, not to ignore the obvious right in front of you. You can want something all you want, but what really works, what makes sense, and what's reciprocated.
There's a difference between wanting it to work and natural chemistry. And when you find natural chemistry and it works and you mesh, you just keep going with it.
And that's the beauty of Lake Street, because by ourselves, we are our own individuals, our own identities and entities within our music.
Yes, it's
100%.
totally separate.
But for some reason,
they don't even sound similar.
No. And you wouldn't think Lake Street would make sense with two artists like us separately coming together, but that's the chemistry. And what you're talking about, the beauty of Lake Street, is somehow it makes sense because of what our connection and brotherhood is and always has been type shit. But yeah, House of Bricks. Definitely played there a few times. Sad to see it go. People's Court was another one. Vaudeville Muse.
Vaudeville Muse was another really cool one.
Wasn't that Marshalltown?
No, that was all Des Moines shit. Marshalltown we played. I don't remember the venue name.
It was like a big old amphitheater.
It felt like a freaking banquet center.
It was like a bank. It was a huge.
It was the Blues something. I can't remember what it was.
It might have been. I couldn't tell you. We were like teenagers. We've had our finger to the pulse and been in this Midwest industry for a long time. Longer than we'd like to admit, honestly. It's only been Lake Street for the past 3 or 4 years, but we've been at it in this neck of the woods for almost 20 years now, just to show our age a little bit.
Jesus Christ. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
All right, so let's get into this project you guys got dropping in 2024.
Woo-wee.
What can you give away? What
Oh man, well, like so it's gonna start with mine, Where the Streets Begin, and my solo album. It's a different side of my music that you've probably never heard. Maybe you have heard on some of my singles that have dropped. Um, but it's definitely, you know, like it's my first solo album. Let me start it off by saying that straight up. Yeah. So, and I'm like, I've done a lot of different music. I cut my first record when I was 14, but like that was with a band and shit. And then I've done a lot of songs with bands and recorded that way. But as like a hip hop artist, I've always either been with a group or just dropped singles and never put together like a full album. And that's cool, I think. But to have it like the catalog how it is now, to be like, if we do make it in the industry, they can't stop and be like, oh, well, look at all of your past albums that didn't do shit. And I can be like, well, I haven't dropped a fucking album or an EP. I've just ran singles, and off of every single, I've streamed this much and this much and this much off of just a single. So you can take those numbers and run that, you know, and they'll be better analytics than if I dropped a number that only did this much. So with my album, it's gonna be like a brief look into how I came up, what happened in my life, trials and tribulations, and you know, just the closer side of what's going on when you don't look at just like Late Street and you can see Ethan Cain type shit, and that's kind of where that is. And then it goes into the Late Street album, which is the intersection, and then that just shows kind of like
Late Street's first like real album.
yeah, well we've done
Real
two
album. Those
yeah
are EPs.
we've done some other albums or EPs, but yeah, this is our first real album, I guess. But then if you look at it, there'll be like there's a story behind everything. All of this, every song, there's a story behind everything, and there'll be videos behind all of this as well, you know. And when you get into the Late Street album, it's pretty much like talking about how we came together, what's made us who we are, and our own style and our staple. Like that's given Late Street what it is.
But it's basically the hopefully what we try to accomplish with the Intersection album is just to identify to the audience what Late Street is. If you try, you know what I'm saying? If your question was how do you identify Late Street, what do you think when you hear Late Street? This album hopefully encapsulates that. And go a little bit more off what he was saying is the point of this trilogy series is 3 different albums, 2 solos in our group project, but front to back, listening to his first song to the last song on mine on the last installment, it's all one big story coexisting and piggybacks the one right before it every step of the way, coming with skits and artwork to kind of coexist. That if you look at the trilogy artwork, shout out to Seth Huggins who did it for us.
Yep.
That kind of says a lot and has a lot of Easter eggs within it. So as you're listening to these albums and you look at those project covers, you'll actually see a lot of stuff within that plateau mentioned symbolically through the projects. And also, like he said as well, with Havoc, we have 3 visuals per album that'll create 9 music videos that create one pretty much short film when it's all said and done. With packaging and marketing through the projects, we're doing vinyl with these albums, we're doing CDs with these albums, we're doing obviously online releases as well. But it's really exciting for us because it's something that not only the Midwest but Iowa's never seen, and a lot of the music industry in that, for that matter, hasn't seen it this way. Is 3 albums that are separate albums on their own, stand on their own, but also tell one story if you collect all 3 of them. And you don't get the whole story without having all 3 of them. So really, it's kind of meta. It's something we put a lot of thought into. And realistically, I mean, we're fathers. We're not getting any younger, and realistically, could be the last thing we ever do. Right. And so that being said, we want to make sure Wars trilogy. We want to make sure it's to the best of our ability and proud of it.
You got to make sure Lucasfilms put it out.
Right.
I mean, that's how it's got to be. So
trying to drop these, and then like by the end of it, be able to network with like Lyrical Lemonades and like have some artist development shit going. Either way, like let this be our stamp in this game, whether it goes anywhere or not. It's kind of our last hurrah or the birth of a whole new one.
No, hopefully it's the birth of a whole new one.
That's the goal.
That's a really awesome.
Shout out to any sponsors or anyone who wants to kick it off with some money to fucking make this shit happen.
Can we expect another tour soon?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, we would like to do another like headlining tour, but
we will.
Yeah, eventually 100%. But like right now, yeah, I'm like, we'll man.
We can't really say too much about it.
Yeah.
Honestly. That's the
Yeah.
hard part. Yes and no.
Yeah, it's gonna happen 100%. I mean, our grind is always there. This summer is gonna be popping, definitely.
Is there any artists that you wish you could hop on the tour with, or you would like to get the opportunity?
Oh man,
Any?
I would love to tour with King ISO.
Yeah, he's fire, dude.
Yeah,
I got the
yeah.
opportunity to meet him while he was with Brain Sick.
Yeah.
He came down to Des Moines. He's a real humble guy.
Oh
We're
yeah,
hopefully
super.
gonna get him up here too. That's something
That's
that
the
I want to
OG.
work
That's
in.
the OG.
Yeah,
They
100%.
asked
Big
us
bro.
to come up here to play, and we actually told them not to.
Yeah.
Not to come up here to
Just
play.
business-wise, but yeah.
But if I can get him coming through here, catch a little quick interview on
Oh,
Couch
that would
Convos,
be dope.
we gotta get him in here, bro.
You know, we went on tour with Snake Lucci. That's his homeboy as well.
Yep, he's fire.
And so yeah, he's dope as well. Shout out to Snake, dude. He's
Yep.
the man. And we did a little tour with him last year, and then we did our tour last year, and then this year, you know, it's probably gonna not necessarily be a headlining tour, but we're gonna be doing our thing for sure. And who else? Who would you like to open up for, dude?
We'll go on. I mean, who would I like bucket list? Go on
Is it-
tour with
okay,
shit.
Yeah, bucket list. They hit you up and be like, "Hey, you guys got anything going on in the next 28 days? Because if so, we got 24 shows."
So he said,
and the bag's right.
I said
so
King ISO.
right, and he said
Yep,
ISO,
he
which
said
is
ISO.
probably the more realistic up the alley, like could happen within the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Answer for sure, and I back that answer as well. But as far as like
Yeah, I give a realistic-
the all in all, like
Yeah.
if it happened, man, it'd probably be like a Kendrick or a Cole for
Oh,
me. You know what I
that's
mean? Like if we could hop on with
Shooting
Cole.
big right there, man. Those guys are pretty good.
Well, I'm just
You
going
guys
off
are
your
fire, too.
general question here. I'm
Yeah,
not saying I think it's
No, I
realistic,
get it.
but
No, it's super. That's realistic.
But
still,
if that's what I could have, if I
was-
wanted
if
it, I
that's-
mean,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I like J. Cole a lot, but I feel like Kendrick is top tier.
Well,
when it
here's-
comes
so
to
what's-
that lyrical delivery.
That's what I feel like Lay
Yeah.
Street is, though. Is it's like I come with a conscious approach to a song, a lot like you could say J.
You
Cole,
can see,
but
his-
then like Kendrick's got the conscious with the energy, which is why like when Lay Street comes together, that I feel like that right there is kind of the essence it grabs. And I think Lay Street would be perfect
you
for a
can
Kendrick,
see, you
a
can
Kendrick
see
type
the
sound.
influences of both the artists that you guys named in your music. So
For sure.
you
Right.
can definitely see aspects of both of them in there.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
So, all right, anything that you guys got coming up beyond the album? Any solo projects, any EP stuff that you're working on with other artists? Can you give away anything like that? Or
As far as other artists go, there is some collabs in the works. We have a collab with a huge name that wasn't huge when we received it, and now he's major, so we're struggling to get a hold of management. That'll just be you'll see or not see.
Yeah.
We have a collab with Gotta Miss from Cez Crew on Strange Music a few years back, running out some kinks in that as well. We do have the Havoc on Lay Street EP that's out right now. The Havoc on James, collective EP is coming soon. And as far as projects go that, to catch up with are coming soon, we got December 1st, another visual coming. And then, like we said, the first
Every
of
month.
the month, this whole entire year, we drop something, all with visuals. So just go to the YouTube page and catch up because they're all hyping up the projects to come.
Yeah. What else do we got? We got the shows coming up. We've got a show
Here in town,
at Rides. We've got a show November 18th. We've got what is it? Yeah, yep. Hold for Swank. Is it Charlie Working or Working Charlie? I'm gonna slaughter all of these.
So Hold for Swank,
Hold for Swank,
Kono,
Kono,
us,
Late Street.
and I'm probably not going to be quick enough on this.
Is More Cheese playing?
Actually, American Shirt, More Cheese, I don't think are playing this one.
Isn't it on hiatus as well? They're playing.
So we got on hiatus, yep.
Yep.
Charlie Work,
Charlie Work.
and that's it.
All right, yeah, everyone. I named everyone. I'm pretty good. Yeah, shit.
Good job.
But then we've got the 13th and the 15th.
December 13th is the More For Sure one.
Yeah.
Gotta do with Ill Bill.
Yep, Ill Bill, and that's pretty dope. I don't know if anyone knows who Ill Bill is or like Necro out of New York.
You do some research.
Yeah, do some research because this is like a legend out here. We will have tickets for that probably available here real soon.
That's that lefty.
Ill
Yeah,
Bill's
that'll be
part of
Lefties in
Army
Des
of
Moines.
Pharaohs, right?
What up?
He's a part of Army of Pharaohs. He
Yeah,
raps with them
yeah,
too, like
yeah.
Benny Paz.
Yeah,
Chad Lyman.
and he does.
Okay.
I think
OG.
he did some stuff with La Coca Nostra and shit.
Yep, Slane and all those
Yep.
guys. Yeah, those are guys. Are
Yeah,
fire, too.
straight up too.
Shout out Suburban Noise.
That'd be
Yeah, all that
That'd be
shit.
dope.
Yeah, for real.
Over
Real.
Lake Street.
That would be
Yeah,
on
would be-
fire.
that'd be like
tour,
Legends
bro.
for
I was
sure.
really hoping that's what one of you guys were gonna say.
It's like we've we've done like
shit no more.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
they
like
really
and,
don't,
and,
but I
and
mean,
we've
it's
done
like-
Ari the Rugged Man. We've done a lot of cool like East Coast,
Yeah.
hip hop dudes and like
So Ari we've opened up for a couple times.
yeah, since we were like young, we were down in Omaha. We were opening up for Ari the Rugged Man on Halloween and
I
shit.
was like 17,
We opened up.
yeah.
We were doing that with like. It's crazy to see like King ISO and Whitney Payton where they are now when we were all playing the same show together in Omaha 2013.
Just opening. He wasn't even King ISO.
Yeah, he was Reality, and we were all opening up for Whitney Payton and Ari the Rugged Man for the Hella Wicked tour. And it's just crazy, you know what I mean? And how old were we then? You know what I mean? Like,
like I said, I was 17, 18.
Yeah.
Maybe,
crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what's to come. That's what's been happening. Definitely knocked out a
what's
lot.
the 15th? That's the Washington show.
I wasn't gonna bring it up because
Oh,
we don't
okay.
have a certainty on it yet.
Well, shout out to Zeke. If you see this, hit us up, dog. Let us know the details.
For real.
Yes, sir. So where can we get Late Street merch? Where can we follow you? Where can we listen to your stuff at? Little plug in real here.
So yeah, deuceblockclothing.com is our websites where you can find all of our merch. It is down right now because we're getting ready to relaunch a bunch of new inventory. So first thing next year when these albums get ready to go, that website will be back up, Deuce Block Clothing. Otherwise, follow us everywhere at 2 Late Street, number 2 Late Street. That's YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitter, wherever the case may be. Follow us and tap in with us and let us know what you think about our shit. And if you love it, share it, please, because it goes further than you think. One love.
Anything you want to add, boss?
Nah, man, that's it.
All
He's
right.
got it. Touched it on
Convos.
all.
That's
Here we
number
go.
4, guys. Let's keep it basic.
All right.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It was raw.
Hell yeah.
That was lit. Covered
Oh,
all
you
bases.
guys did an excellent job. It was great.
Hey, appreciate you, man.
It was rolling too, bro. That was lit.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Fucking sitting here.